Hello friends, this video is on MCO 05 accounting for management, and here I will be sharing and explaining 10 most important questions which are likely to strike in this June examination. But apart from that, you can also compare you can also practice from the examples given in the IGNOU study materials, and like whatever the other materials that you have. And one request that those who have already purchased my study materials, they are kindly requested not to share this on social media groups or to anyone. So let's begin with the video and let's see the first example, that is from financial statements. And the question here, this is the first example question here. 9% 80,000 preference shares of rupees 10 each. Then we have 50,000 equity shares of 10 rupees each. Then we have 30,000 equity shares of 10 rupees each and 20,000 equity shares of 10 rupees each, fully paid up 6 rupees. So the directors proposed a dividend of 15% on equity shares, and these are few adjustments given to you, like transfer to general reserve. Then we have transfer to dividend equalization fund 75,000. Then debenture redemption fund 1 lakh, and transfer to investment allowance reserve 1,25,000. Apart from that, net profit before tax is given to you, that is 12,50,000, and you are required to prepare profit and loss appropriation account. Now आप लोगों ने क्लास 12 में पार्टनरशिप में आप लोगों ने शायद किया होगा दैट how to prepare profit and loss account, appropriation account. And here this account is also prepared in financial statements. So what we have to do, like this is the solution of the problem, that is general reserve, like whatever the reserves that has been distributed, or the amount is accumulated in the reserves, you should write that this amount is given in the question: general reserve, equalization dividend reserve, then debenture redemption reserve, and investment allowance reserve, right? So these four items are already given in the question. And proposed dividend, as you can see here, that fifth line, proposed dividend 15% on equity shares. So this one, so you need to calculate on equity shares, and after calculating the 15% of the preference and equity shares, you get this amount 72,000 and 1,29,000. And corporate dividend tax, that is at the rate of 12.5%. and corporate dividend tax is basically on the this one, preference and equity shares. तो आप लोगों को यहाँ पे इन दोनों को कंबाइन करना है, प्लस करना है, and to find 12.5% of that, so you get the tax, required tax. Okay, on the credit side of this account, this net profit is already given in the question, minus 50% of the income tax, which is there in the question here, like 50% corporate, so this one. So this is how you have to prepare, and the balance, you will get this balance 67,625, right? So this is how you have to calculate and prepare profit and loss appropriation account. Okay, example 2. Example 2 is from ratio analysis, and here like sales figure is given 8 lakhs, gross profit ratio is given 25%, net profit ratio is given 10%, and stock turnover ratio is given 10 times. And what you have to find out, you have to find the gross profit, net profit, and cost of goods sold, and operating expenses. So these four things you have to find out, right? Very simple question. And to find gross profit, straight away calculate 25%, which is given in the question, of the sales. So you get 2 lakhs. Like that, net profit can be straight away calculated, 10% given in the question, of 8 lakhs. Cost of goods sold. Now cost of goods sold, there are many formulas, but here you can use this simple formula, sales minus gross profit. So you get this figure 6 lakhs, right? And to calculate operating expenses, again gross profit minus net profit. This is the simplest way to find operating expenses, which you get 1,20,000. Okay, let's move on to example number 3. And here you have to find the leverage ratio. Now there are many ratios which are included in this leverage ratio. So, and this balance sheet is given in the question. And let's see how to find the leverage ratios. Now these are all leverage ratios, like debt equity ratio, then we have total debt equity ratio, proprietary ratio. First let's see these three type of leverage ratio. And again I'm telling you, like you have to learn the formulas. There are many formulas in ratio analysis. Like to calculate debt equity ratio, definitely it is a ratio between debt and equity. That means long term debt divided by equity, right? And this long term debt includes debentures. Basically now this debentures is given in the question, this 10% debentures. So this amount is given in the question, 45,000. So what you need to do, so 10% of 4,50,000, so you get 45,000. Like that. Equity, now equity means equity share capital and preference share capital. So these two capitals are included in equity, plus profit and loss account. So when you add up all these figures which are given in the question, so you get the total equity, that is equal to 75,000. And when you divide this total debt, that is 45,000 divided by 75,000, so you get this 0.6:1. You can also leave your answer in fractions, no problem with that. Now total debt equity ratio, now here you have to find, as the name implies, first find total debt. Now total debt is here debenture plus creditors plus proposed dividend. So when you add up all these figures, you get this 65,000. And equity already we have calculated, equity share capital plus preference share capital. So divide them, you get this figure. So this is your answer. To calculate proprietary ratio, what you need to do, this is a ratio between proprietor's fund and total assets. Now total assets here, that means all fixed assets plus current assets like land, building, plant and machinery, furniture plus current assets. So find, like add up all these figures which are given in the balance sheet in the question, and you get this 1,40,000. And to calculate proprietary ratio, you have to divide the total proprietary fund. Proprietary fund means total equity. Okay, total equity, that is 75,000 divided by 1,40,000. So you get 15/28 or 1:1.87 as the answer. Okay. And this is again one type of leverage ratio, that is capital gearing ratio. To calculate this, we use this formula, right? Equity capital divided by fixed interest bearing securities. Equity capital here is equity share capital. Don't include all other capital like preference, reserves and profit and loss account. So this is the profit. And when you add up all these three figures, you get 55,000. And fixed interest bearing securities, now basically that includes debentures and preference share capital. That's why we have not included this here in total, while calculating only equity capital. When you are asked to find total capital, that means equity plus preference. So when you divide this, you get capital gearing ratio. So these four ratios are included in leverage ratio. Let's move on to the next one, example 4. Here again, like a balance sheet of 2 years is given, and you are asked to prepare cash flow statement. Okay, we have done this in class 11 and 12 also. And here you can see here 2006, 2 years are given, and 2007. Okay, now some additional information are given, जिसको आपको बिल्कुल 2-3 बार पढ़ना है, so that it gets printed in your mind. Now here equipment costing 80,000 was purchased during the year. Loss on sale of equipment is given 5,000 rupees, and depreciation on equipments and furniture is given 15,000 and 30,000 respectively. Now to prepare cash flow statement, in fact I've got previous 28 videos on MCO05 which you must watch. I will share the link in the description box. So they will also help you to prepare for the exams. Now to calculate cash flow statement, first you have to take net profit before tax and extraordinary item. So this is given in the question, like this profit, this 2 lakh So you have to take this profit 2 lakhs. Then depreciation on equipment and furniture, this is given in the adjustment 15,000 and 30,000. So you will add up all this. Then patents. Now patents written off is already there here, as you can see here, patents. So past patents in 2006 it was 1 lakh, and during the year by the end of 2007 it becomes 95,000. So there is a written off of 5,000. Then we have proposed dividend. Now this is also given in the question, proposed dividend. So you place this figure here, 75,000. Loss on sale of equipment is given in the adjustment, right? 5,000. So when you add up all these figures, you get operating profit before working capital changes, right? And in this you will add interest, increase in outstanding rent. And how to calculate this? All outstanding expenses. So as you can see here on the liability side, this one, outstanding rent. Previously it was 5,000, now 7,000. So there is an increase of liability of 2,000 rupees, which is shown here. Okay. Then this will be added here, and less, decrease, like any liability which is getting decreased, you will decrease that, you will reduce that. Increase in debtors, again less. Increase in stock, less, because all these are assets. So place these figures here, and you can put it here bracket. Bracket means we are subtracting, and after subtracting all this from this figure, so you get this 1,72,000, which is the first part of cash flow statement, that is cash flow from operating activities. To calculate cash flow from investing activities, you will add sale of equipment, right? 30,000, this is also there in the question, and purchase of new equipment, this is also given. So this will be subtracted. All sale will be added, purchase will be subtracted. We have also purchased investment. So we are taking all that differential figure which is there in the balance sheet. As you can see here, that investment, there was no investment in the previous year, and now it becomes 1 lakh. So like that, you have to subtract both the figures amount, and to calculate and find out the increase and decrease in the assets or liabilities. Okay, so you will get this cash flow from investing activities, so which is a negative figure. And to calculate cash flow from financing activities, again here all financial related activities like capital dividend, payment of dividend, repayment of bank loans, and issue of equity share capital. So these two, like repayment of bank loans where cash out, there is an outflow of cash, so these are subtracted, and issue of equity share capital, so this is 2 lakhs. So now from this A, that is this one, B and C. So what you have to do, you have to add all these figures and you get 1,20,000, right? And this should match with the cash equivalent at the beginning. मतलब यहाँ पे आपको ऑटोमेटिकली चेकिंग हो जाएगी, जो फाइनल जो आंसर आएगा आपका, दैट इज़ 3,27,000. तो ये जो अमाउंट है कैश एंड कैश इक्विवेलेंट एट द एंड, तो ये मैच करना चाहिए आपका कैश और बैंक बैलेंस से. लाइक हियर हियर कैश यहाँ पे जैसे 27,000 है एंड बैंक 3 lakhs, तो दोनों को अगर ऐड करेंगे वी गेट 3,27,000 विच इज़ इक्वल टू द कैश and cash equivalent at the end. Okay, so this is how you have to work out. Okay friends, let's move on to the next question, and this is from variance analysis, and this is the particular question, example 5. You have to find MCV, that is material cost variance, then price variance, uses variance, and mix variance. Very important question for the exams. And this table is given. यहाँ पे आपको स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट और एक्चुअल कॉस्ट दिया हुआ है, दो कमोडिटी ए और बी का. एंड सबसे पहले देखते हैं एमसीवी, मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस. इसके लिए ये फार्मूला आपको याद रखना है, स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट माइनस एक्चुअल कॉस्ट. स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट यहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स दो कमोडिटी हैं तो दोनों की कंबाइंड आपको लेनी है, दैट मीन्स 60 × 10 then 90 into 20, and then again you will plus both this, so you get 60 adverse. Adverse means it is not favorable, that means actual cost is more than standard cost. Like that, to calculate material price variance, ये फॉर्मूला है प्राइस स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस माइनस एक्चुअल प्राइस इनटू एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी. नाउ स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस दो प्रोडक्ट हैं तो दोनों के अलग अलग आपको फाइंड आउट करने हैं, प्रोडक्ट ए एंड प्रोडक्ट बी, एंड स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस और एक्चुअल प्राइस को माइनस करके यू विल मल्टीप्लाई विथ एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी. तो दोनों ही केस में एडवर्स है एंड द नेट एमपीवी इज ऑल्सो एडवर्स. ओके, मटेरियल यूजेस वेरिएंस, यहाँ पे आपको स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस मल्टीप्लाई करना है फॉर्मूला में स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी एंड एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी. ये दोनों के डिफरेंस को यू विल मल्टीप्लाई विथ स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस. सो प्रोडक्ट ए प्रोडक्ट बी ये दोनों के आपको फॉर्मूला में ये दिस फिगर्स विल कम, एंड नेचुरली ये दोनों फिगर को हम लोग प्लस करेंगे. एक एडवर्स है एक फेवरेबल है, दैट मीन्स दोनों का सब्ट्रैक्शन हो जाएगा, सो यू गेट 400 विच इज़ फेवरेबल. लाइक दैट, टू कैलकुलेट मटेरियल मिक्स वेरिएंस, ये थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, एंड हियर रिवाइज्ड स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी और एक्चुअल स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी, you will subtract both this and again multiply with standard price, and this is for product A. रिवाइज्ड क्वांटिटी, नाउ रिवाइज्ड क्वांटिटी मैंने यहाँ पे कैलकुलेशन किया है ये दोनों के, प्रोडक्ट ए प्रोडक्ट बी का. प्रोडक्ट ए का रिवाइज्ड स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी फाइंड आउट करने के लिए व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, टोटल एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी, देन द रिजल्ट इज मल्टीप्लाइड विथ स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी ऑफ ए. So in this way, so you get this figure 56 kg, which I have used here. Okay, like that, प्रोडक्ट बी का भी हम लोग सेम फार्मूला से रिवाइज स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी फाइंड आउट करेंगे एंड यू विल गेट 84, एंड एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी तो ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है, सो यू कैन फाइंड आउट दिस वैल्यू. सो लाइक दिस. ओके, द नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल अगेन यू नो मटेरियल प्राइस वेरिएंस, यूजर्स वेरिएंस, मिक्स वेरिएंस आपको फाइंड आउट करने हैं, एंड मटेरियल यील्ड वेरिएंस. एंड यहाँ पे यू नो ये दिस इज़ द क्वेश्चन जहाँ पे दो मटेरियल हैं, मटेरियल पी विच इज़ ₹400 per kg and another material Q which is used 60% as 600 per kg, and there is a standard loss of 10% which is anticipated, and 180 kg of material P have been used at the rate of 680 per kg. 220 kg of material Q have been used at the rate of 360 per kg, and the actual production was 369 kg. So you need to find out all this type of variance. So here first of all you will find the actual production. Actual production is 369 already given, then standard loss is given, actual output. So actual output in this way 100 by 90, because यहाँ पे 10% standard loss है, तो इसको inverse करके we will multiply with this quantity actual production, so you get the total production. And again standard quantity of P which is used, standard quantity of P only 40% of 410. 410 is the total production. तो like this हम find out कर सकते हैं standard quantity P का and standard quantity of Q. ये आपको 40% 60% given in the question. Then यहाँ पे हम लोग इसकी in the same way like material price variance, users variance, just you need to put the formulas and get the answer, that's it. Okay, so I don't think that will be a problem. Okay, आगे चलते हैं next question. This is on labor variance. Variance analysis is very important, अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस करें, very important one. यहाँ पे इस क्वेश्चन में आपको स्टैंडर्ड टाइम दिया हुआ है पर मंथ, दैट इज़ 4000 hours. Standard wage rate is given, the number of laborers employed for production that is given, average working days in a month is given, number of working hours per day that is also given, total wage in a month is given, and idle time is given 100 hours, and you have to find the labor cost, वेरिएंस, लेबर रेट वेरिएंस, लेबर एफिशिएंसी एंड लेबर आइडल वेरिएंस। तो ये 4 वेरिएंस आपको फाइंड आउट करने हैं। नाउ ये मैंने प्रीवियस वीडियोस में भी आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन। तो यहाँ पे अगेन यू विल फाइंड फर्स्ट एक्चुअल टाइम। एक्चुअल टाइम के लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे, वी विल यूज दिस फॉर्मूला, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन, नंबर ऑफ वर्कर्स इंटू नंबर ऑफ डेज वर्कड इंटू नंबर ऑफ आवर्स एक्चुअली वर्कड। तो यहाँ पे टोटल नंबर ऑफ वर्कर्स 30 हैं एंड 25 डेज लिया हुआ है वर्किंग डेज, एंड एक्चुअल नंबर ऑफ आवर्स वर्कड इज 7 आवर्स। तो ये आपको आ गया 5250 आवर्स एंड एक्चुअल वेज रेट। To find out this, the total bill divided by actual time. Now this bill is given in the question. So you get 2 rupees 25 paisa as wage rate, and after that you can put all these values to find LCV. LCV again standard cost minus actual cost, and standard cost find out करने के लिए again we use this formula, standard time into standard rate, and actual cost के लिए similarly actual time into actual rate. So you get this adverse value like that. To find labor rate variance, same formula, बस वहाँ पे material था, यहाँ पे labor है, standard labor rate minus actual labor rate multiplied by actual time. So you get this value, this which is favorable. To find out efficiency variance, स्टैंडर्ड टाइम और एक्चुअल टाइम का डिफरेंस को मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं स्टैंडर्ड लेबर रेट से, एंड स्टैंडर्ड टाइम एज ऑलरेडी गिवन 4000 एंड एक्चुअल टाइम इज़ 5250। अगेन यहाँ पर भी एडवर्स सिचुएशन बन रही है। सो लाइक दिस, बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है। ओके, एग्जाम्पल 8 के तरफ चलते हैं, एंड नाउ दिस इज़ वन क्वेश्चन दैट केम इन द प्रीवियस ईयर्स एग्जाम्स. A company manufactures product P and standard cost system gives the following table of 1000 kg of product P. So here you know यहाँ पे 3 ingredients हैं A, B, C, and quantity is given, price is given, cost is given, and यहाँ पे ये हो गई standard की बात, and this is the actual, ये actual records of A, B, C तीनों. So ये भी वेरिएंस एनालिसिस से है, एंड लेट्स सी हाउ टू फाइंड आउट मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस के लिए सेम फार्मूला, स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट माइनस एक्चुअल कॉस्ट, एंड ये एक्चुअली ये आपके बुक में एग्जांपल भी है, सो वहाँ से भी आप कर सकते हैं इस चीज़ को, लेकिन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, डू प्रैक्टिस दिस क्वेश्चन वेल. ओके, आगे चलते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 के तरफ. थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट बिकॉज ऑलरेडी वी हैव वर्कड आउट 3 क्वेश्चंस ऑन वेरिएंस एनालिसिस. क्वेश्चन नंबर 9, ए कंपनी हियर इज़ प्रोड्यूसिंग, ये BEP है, लाइक ब्रेक इवन एनालिसिस पे है, एंड यहाँ पे कंपनी इज़ प्रोड्यूसिंग ए प्रोडक्ट एंड सेल्स इट फॉर 20 रुपीज़. दैट मीन्स दिस इज़ द सेलिंग प्राइस. वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज़ 12 रुपीज़ and fixed cost is 80,000 per annum. What you have to do, you have to find out break even point, PV ratio, profit volume ratio, and sales volume required to earn a profit of 60,000 rupees per annum. Okay, now let's see. First of all, calculate contribution. Contribution formula is selling price minus variable cost. So both are given 20, 12, 8. एंड ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट इन यूनिट्स. आपको ध्यान रखना है ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट इन यूनिट्स और ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट इन वैल्यू, ये दोनों की वैल्यू आपको सबसे पहले फाइंड आउट करनी है. टू फाइंड आउट इन यूनिट्स ये फॉर्मूला यूज़ करते हैं हम लोग, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट डिवाइडेड बाय कंट्रीब्यूशन. सो फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट हियर इट इज़ गिवन, दिस फिगर इज़ गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन, 80,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 8, सो 10,000 यूनिट्स. देन टू फाइंड आउट PV रेशियो, contribution by sales. Now total contribution here is like 10,000 units into 8 rupees is the contribution per unit. So you will multiply both these terms, you get 80,000 and divided by total sales. 20 rupees is the selling price and 10,000 units is to be sold. So you know, so that will give you the value 0.4. Like that, break even point in value वैल्यू जब फाइंड आउट करेंगे तो व्हाट वी विल डू, ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट जो यूनिट्स में है डिवाइडेड बाय पीवी रेशियो. Okay, so you will get this value 2 lakhs as break even point. And the next part of the question is sales volume required to earn a profit of 60,000. So सबसे पहले इसका भी units and value दोनों में फाइंड आउट करना है. ये फॉर्मूला बिल्कुल याद रखें, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट प्लस एक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉफिट डिवाइडेड बाय कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट. यहाँ पे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट 80,000 है एंड एक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉफिट इज 60,000 or required profit divided by contribution per unit 8. So you get this 17,500 units and sales volume कितनी वॉल्यूम होनी चाहिए, तो दैट विल बी कैलकुलेटेड इन वैल्यू. तो यहाँ पे कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट के प्लेस पे यू हैव टू डिवाइड इट विद पी वी रेशियो, राइट. सो यू गेट द वैल्यू. सो इतना सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. ओके, आगे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लास्ट क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. ये भी BEP से है एंड हियर देर आर 3 प्रोडक्ट्स गिवन, प्रोडक्ट X, प्रोडक्ट Y एंड प्रोडक्ट Z. एंड हियर सेल्स इज गिवन, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, कंट्रीब्यूशन, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट इज गिवन एंड प्रॉफिट इज गिवन. यू हैव टू फाइंड ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट एंड ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट इफ सेल्स मिक्स रेशियो इज 30:50:20. सो दिस इज, इसके अंदर एक नया पार्ट है. So to calculate this, first calculate BEP in value. So we can straight away use this formula. Otherwise पहले quantity उसके बाद value. Like that also we can find. So to calculate value, fixed cost into sales. Fixed cost यहाँ पे आपको दिया हुआ है 50,000 into sales. Sales here is 2 lakhs, right? 2 lakhs, that means this value, right? And divided by sales minus variable cost, so you get 1,25,000. Now change in the sales mix ratio, जो रेशियो दिया हुआ है आपको 30:50:20 और 3:5:2, तो दैट मेक्स 100. एंड यहाँ पे आपको फाइंड आउट करनी है इसकी न्यू सेल्स मिक्स. प्रोडक्ट X की 30/100 into 2 lakhs, like that 50/100 एंड लाइक दैट. ये इजी है, ये हम लोग सेल्स मिक्स फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस रेशियो. एंड वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रेशियो इज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज टू सेल्स, राइट. ये फॉर्मूला है. एंड अगेन लाइक यहाँ पे इसकी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रेशियो की प्रोडक्ट X की 5/8 और 5:8 प्रोडक्ट Y की आ जाएगी एंड प्रोडक्ट Z की आ जाएगी. तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रेशियो फाइंड आउट करने के बाद यू कैन प्रिपेयर दिस टेबल ऑफ प्रोडक्ट X, प्रोडक्ट Y, प्रोडक्ट Z. और यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट X की सेल्स हुई है 60,000, ये आपको फिगर क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है ऑलरेडी. एंड यहाँ पे वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट यहाँ पे 5/8 into 60,000. 5/8 जो हम लोगों ने अभी अभी यहाँ पे फाइंड आउट किया है, दिस वन variable cost ratio 5/8. So 5/8 into 60,000. So you get this one. Like that, to calculate variable cost of Y, 3/5 into 1 lakh. So you can easily get that. Then contribution. Contribution 22,500. This is there in the question. That is sales minus variable cost. So when you will subtract both these terms, 60,000 minus 37,500, so you get this figure. Like that, 1 lakh minus, when you subtract both these terms, you get 40,000. Like that, 40 minus 20, you get 20,000. So this is how you have to work out. Fixed cost is given and profits are given. And lastly, break even point after change in in sales mix ratio. So here fixed cost, again it is fixed cost same लेना है आपको जो यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, this one fixed cost into sales. Sales already given 2 lakhs. Then again sales minus variable cost. So you get this final answer. So friends, these are few important questions which you need to practice for the exams, and a very best of luck for the exam. Thank you very much.